What's going on, everybody? How's it going? This is Waj, and I've been using the HTC One M9 for a couple of weeks now, and I've had a chance to compare it against other popular smartphones. And even though I think the Samsung Galaxy S6 and iPhone have a lot of different advantages over the M9, I still think there's a couple of different features that the M9 represents that are still killer features and might even sway you to go with the M9 opposed to some of the other great smartphones out there. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing my top 5 reasons of why you should get the HTC One M9 over the Samsung Galaxy S6. So without any further delays, let's get right into this. Now, the first thing I want to mention is the design and build quality of the HTC One M9 versus the GS6. Now, even though the new Samsung is fantastic in terms of those factors, I still think that the M9 is more comfortable to use in the hand, and it definitely molds into everybody's hands a little bit nicer, I find. And additionally, even though we have a glass back on the GS6, which is great for scratch resistance, I still think that it feels a little bit more fragile, even though it's really not, but it gives you that impression anyways. And I would probably design an all-metal phone because that's probably the most consistent and not really mix around glass and aluminum. And that's why I would generally prefer the design on the M9 still compared to what we see on the GS6. Even though internally the Snapdragon 810 chip isn't quite as fast as the Exynos processor we have on the GS6, in terms of the graphical capabilities, the Adreno GPU is quite a bit faster when you're taking a look at the graphical capabilities. As you can see from our 3D Mark score, we're getting quite a bit higher performance results from the M9 compared to what we're getting on the Samsung Galaxy S6. Now, that's not going to really translate into a huge massive difference in the long run, but it's still interesting to note that we still have better graphical capabilities on the Snapdragon 810 chip than the Exynos processor on the Samsung, which is certainly interesting if you do a lot of hardcore gaming on your smartphone. Next, I want to talk about cameras. Now, in most regards, the GS6 has a better low light performance, but if you're in brightly lit sunlit conditions or in well lit environment, because we do have higher resolution stills, there is that potential of you getting more detail, more cropping options, because we have 20.7 megapixel stills versus 16 megapixels on the Samsung. So in perfectly lit situations, when you have the camera set right, you still can get some fantastic looking images that will surpass the clarity of the Samsung. I just think one of the big downsides on the new Samsung phones is that we don't have user expandable memory anymore. That was one of the huge advantages specifically to me, because I could just buy a cheap 16 gigabyte smartphone and then add like a 64 gigabyte SD card for like 25 bucks, and there you go. And then I could buy a whole bunch of those cards because I watch a lot of movies and television shows on my smartphone, and that was a huge handy feature that I really like quite a bit. We thankfully still have that feature on the M9. We still have that expandable memory option. Great to see, and I'm sure a lot of people will still go with that feature than a phone that doesn't have expandable memory. And last but not least, if you listen to a lot of music or watch movies like I do on the smartphone, you'll still love the fact that we have the best darn speakers on any smartphone on the HTC One M9. It's still using boom sound technology, which is great for reproducing really good mids and bass frequencies, and they're facing right towards you, so you're going to get fantastic overall sound experience that is unrivaled by pretty much everything else. And don't take my word for it, listen to this comparison and you'll hear the difference yourself. But really, other than that, guys, that's really it. Now, even though there's not a ton of advantages that the M9 presents over the Samsung, I still think that some of those advantages could be critical for some people out there that want to get excellent speaker quality and excellent build and design, and that option for user expandable memory. It's not a lot of features, but perhaps quality will outweigh quantity for people that are arguing the point of why the M9 is better than the GS6. But definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give us a thumbs up if this video helped you out in any way, you enjoyed it, and definitely check out our main comparison video comparing these two smartphones. We also have a whole bunch of different dedicated videos regarding the battery test, the speed test, and the camera comparison. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you later. Take care.